Rap and Reason podcast with Dr. Jeremy C. McCool and Earl Hopkins.
Yeah, so my initial thoughts, like, you
Just
know,
general.
I'm willing to say this too. Like, I wasn't a huge OutKast fan until their next album. Like, because I didn't grow up really in the era where like
Mm,
Speaker Box was my introduction to OutKast,
okay.
basically. I was 6 years old. Like, that was my introduction. I didn't obviously hear AT Aliens. That was before I was born. Equimini, I think I'm saying that right.
Aquemini.
Equimini, like I wasn't in that era. So nah, when I going back to Stankonia though, and like the only song I really heard was So Fresh, So Clean. Everybody heard that. Miss Jackson, like these are like hits, mega hits. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Bombs Over Baghdad, like these are crazy hits. But actually listening to the album in full and seeing like how it's all weaved in together, bro, it makes you appreciate those songs more.
Hmm.
It makes you appreciate Outkast more going back to it, at least for me, right?
Yeah.
Because I think this is my view. I think Speaker Box was at the height of their popularity. I think artistically, although Big Boy and Andre 3000 were kind of like it was like oil water at that point. They still found a way to still make great music together,
Hmm.
even with them having separate styles at this point. You
Yep.
can see Andre kind of veering off. Would you say this is the point where he was kind of
Oh,
going a little bit
absolutely.
more artistic?
Oh, yeah, yeah. This is Erica.
Yeah.
This what he got with Erica.
So Erica's on the album, so that makes sense.
This one he got with
Uh,
Erica Badu, man. You can hear it. You can hear it.
Yes, open toe shoes, like
He
it's
started
all
getting
that.
way more melodic. He started
Uh-huh.
veering away from the just rapidy rap stuff. A lot
Exactly.
of his verses started melding way more melodic singing.
Yeah. And so, like, I think for that reason, like, I think I'm just like, 3 more years, y'all got it. Like, and like, I think that's where my mind is taking me. But I try to like separate that, just listen to it as is, and I think I like it. You know what I mean? I like Stankonia. Is it to me a classic? I think in other people's eyes it is. For me, it's a pretty good album. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
For me, like there's classic records like So Fresh, So Clean, Miss Jackson. I really like I'll call before. Oh wait, I can't say that. But yeah, like
Yeah,
I like
I
that
know the one.
record with
And
Gangsta
that
Boo.
hard.
It is though. Explosion, I think would be real. That was kind of left field for me. I never listened or heard Explosion before that, ironically. And then
Mm.
I hear it would be real. I'm like, hold on, what? Like a West Coast loped out dude, and y'all did it and it worked. Um, I didn't really like Humble Mumble at the beginning. I thought it was a little all over the place. I was kind of like taken aback a little bit. But once they
Yeah.
get into like maybe the maybe 2.5 minute mark, I don't know what it is. But once it transitions a little bit, I'm like, okay, like I like this.
Mm.
So, um, yeah, overall, man, as I said, I like Stankonia, the title track with Sleepy Brown and Big Rube. I like this album all like pretty much through and through. There's some spots where I'm like, I can do without it. It just seems a little too mismatch of a style musically, but I think overall, like, you can't be mad at this one.
Absolutely, bro. And I would say the same, man. I really enjoyed this project. Not my favorite OutKast album, but an
Hmm.
album that I definitely still love. There's definitely some of the highlights. So Fresh, So Clean, Miss Jackson. I think the production on here is fire. Shout out to Organized Noise. I know played a big
Yeah,
producing this along with OutKast, but a lot of live instrumentation on this album, which I appreciate. It's very funk influenced. You can hear it.
hmm
You could tell that they pulled a lot from funk music, and I'm a big fan of funk music. Like Bootsy
yeah,
Collins, George Clinton. Me and my mom have went to go see George Clinton in Parliament before, like all that, like that. I love that era of music. So
hmm
um, this pulled a lot of that, and definitely appreciate it. Call Before I, you know what I mean. Also, one I really love. I've always one of my favorite OutKast songs is "Bombs Over Baghdad." I've always just thought it was
hmm
fire rap songs. Period. I just
yeah.
think that the Andre just went stupid
It
on
went
this.
nuclear, literally.
Yeah, like it's just a fire record. Like that one is
Mhm.
dope. I also like Explosion. Um, we love these. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, I can't
Hard,
believe I didn't say that. Well, I can't, but
hard.
yeah.
I actually like Humble Mumble. I like the music on it, so that just
Yeah.
excited me to it. Um, There's a couple that I really that I don't care for at all. I would definitely say that. Snapping and trapping, I don't like. Like it's just too much going on. It's just
It's too
too
much.
too many sounds all over the
Hmm.
place. Like not as yeah, it's just not easy on the ears for me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And there's a few songs like that on here, but I would say all in all, though, and I also really love the title track too. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that it's fire, bro. All in all, man, I really do like this album. It's not my favorite OutKast album, and that's not a shot because OutKast don't really have no bad albums to me.
Yeah.
Um,
That's a fact.
I first really got into OutKast really on this album. I think some of the first
Oh wow.
OutKast songs are on here, like Miss Jackson,
Uh-huh.
Moms Over Baghdad. Those were some of the first OutKast songs I heard, and then I had a cousin who put me on the older stuff. You know what I mean? So that's when I got
Okay.
Stankonia, AT Aliens. I mean, Aquemini. Aquemini is probably my favorite one. I just like the way Aquemini sounds.
Mm.
I just think that they were just in a different pocket on Aquemini, and it
Yeah.
worked. And there's a lot of like conscious stuff in there too. I just think it's a dope project. Speak About Love Below though, amazing. Like,
Oh my God.
you know what I mean? Amazing. And then AT Aliens fire too. So I think out of their out of the hierarchy, Stankonia is probably like number three for me.
Okay. And that's not bad. Like you said,
The
like
Southern
going
Play,
back.
even their first album is
uh,
fire. Southern
Yeah, it
Playlist is
is.
good too.
Like even going back, right? Like for me, like going back to these, it makes you appreciate their evolution musically too and artistically. Like it's like, hold on, they started off on some playalistic type junk, and then they transitioned and became mega stars. Like,
Yeah.
yo, and then you go back to it, you see like the conscious messaging, you see them rapping at peak form, like even then, you know what I mean? Like so,
Mhm.
yeah, it makes you appreciate that. I think for me, Stankonia will probably rank fourth. But again, that's not a knock. That's not a
No,
knock because
no.
this is a great group. This is one of hip hop's best groups ever. Like I think
Yeah.
you consider them your top group.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, they're my top hip hop group. Some
Mm.
people won't consider them a group; they're a duo, whatever. More than one person. They're. I would say that
Right.
they're my favorite. Sonically, for sure,
Yeah.
for
I think
sure.
for me it's a tribe called Quest, but you know what I mean?
Tribe is probably second or third for me. Tribe is up there.
Yeah.
But I gotta think Wu Tang. Then I gotta think.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah. I would say that that's the trifecta for sure to me.
For sure. Like
And
that's the hierarchy.
yeah, gotta be.
Yeah.
And I think that on Stankonia, I think gotta shout them out because this is such a pivot from the album before this. Like Aquemini and Stankonia sound nothing alike,
Nothing alike, bro.
night and day. And so I gotta salute them for being so experimental with music, man, and
Hmm.
really pushing the boundaries of what they're supposed to sound like. I always give artists credit for that because it's easy to just rock out with the sound that works. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So Aquemini was commercially successful, so it would have been easy for them to just be like, let's just make another Aquemini. But for
exactly.
them to say, no, let's pivot and do something completely different, you know what I mean? Takes a lot of courage as an artist. And I think there's only a handful of artists who I've seen in hip hop really who make these drastic shifts every album like this.
Yeah,
Um,
and credit to Big Boy, bro. Like it's crazy, man. Like everybody has a friend or a homeboy that like, are you burning incense? Do you have sea moss? Like, are you eating sea moss smoothies, bro? Like, when did you start doing probiotic drinks and all that? Like, we all have homies that kind of transition or make like take up new lifestyles, whatever. So
yeah.
for Big Boy to see his homeboy be like, did you just make Miss Jackson, bro? Like, this is what you want to do? Like and actually not only like encouraging him to do it but putting it on the album to show that we got different shades to this group that we've been a part of or have led. So shout out to him and Andre for being the creative genius he is, man. Crazy.
Absolutely, man. Shout out to both of them for being able to allow each other to shine in their element. And I don't think it
Mhm.
works if Big Boy is not Big Boy because if Big Boy isn't there rapping the player stuff, it would be harder to take in Andre. You know,
Exactly. Yeah.
Big Boy kind of makes it where it's like he adds the cool sauce on it for you
Mhm.
to be able to I don't know how to say, but not. not like it's Andre's bad, but it's different. I think it made it easier for people to take in Andre's music, with Big Boy being there. So I think so both of them play a major role in making OutKast what it is, and even letting Andre rock out on like Prototype is one of my favorite Andre 3000 songs, and that is completely left field. That's as left field of a song as you can get. But it's just dope to me. I always like some of his risks that he's taking. Roses, you know what I mean. A lot of stuff on Love Below is really just like amazing, but it's so left.
It's so different.
I know there has to be some time where Big Boy was looking at him like, bro, what?
Yes, bro. I know had to been some infighting like creatively or musically, bro, where they're just like, I'm glad we doing this separate, bro, because I don't know what you're doing. And it worked though. It worked, man. Like, like, because we saw like
both sides are fire.
Both sides. And we saw like what's that joint? Ray Shremmer, right? I'm not comparing the two, but just Ray Shremmer did they didn't do like a 2-part album, they did 3 albums in one, which is something I never thought I would see for real. They tried it. It's actually all right. Like a lot of people don't like Shrem like 3, but they wouldn't have done or aspired to do that had it not been for Speaker Box Love Below, man. So they're influential beyond measure, man. So
beyond measure,
that group for sure.
OutKast pushed hip hop. I don't think hip hop gets to where it is now without OutKast.
Absolutely.
I don't know if we get a Kanye. I don't know if we get a Lupe. I don't know if we get a Pharrell. I don't know if we get
a Kid Cudi.
I definitely don't think we get a Kid Cudi. That's right off the Andre 3000 tree. It's a lot of them who I feel like hip hop doesn't get to evolve where it can be all of these different eccentric things without outlets. You know what I mean? And they pushed the boundaries of what hip hop could be and sound like. So I got to give them credit for that, man. So shout out OutKast, man. Y'all put on for hip hop and then definitely put on for the South.
Like, absolutely, man. Yeah. Like Andre said, like Source Awards, I want to say 1995, said the South got something to say, bro. And it's rang true ever since, man.
Rap and Reason Podcast with Dr. Jeremy C. McCool and Earl Hopkins.